All right, it's Pippin, and I am talking to Sunny Lou for Livewire. Thank you so much for meeting with me. I'm so excited. How's your Big Sound going so far?
Hello, Pippin, the amazing writer of Stars, an incredible song that everyone should go listen to. And make sure you keep this in the interview. Okay.
Thank you.
And it's a killer tune. I'm having the best Big Sound ever, and I get to hang out with you. How good is that? Shall we cheers our teas?
Yeah, we definitely should. This is the calm before the storm. We're getting really hydrated. We're getting really nice before you play a show, and I drink beers while I watch you play a show.
Yes.
You're playing and speaking at Big Sound. So you played yesterday. You're playing tonight at 8 p.m. at Soundgarden, and then you're also talking tomorrow, and then you're also playing tomorrow night also at Soundgarden at 7 p.m.
Yes.
How are you? That is so jam-packed. How are you feeling about all the shows and everything that you're doing?
I'm so grateful. I think I'm so grateful. We're both musicians.
Yeah.
This is what you want to be doing.
You want to be playing all the time.
Our favorite thing in the world is to play shows. And I remembered, sometimes it's hectic, but I'm always I'm so grateful it's so hectic right now because what a good problem to have.
Yeah.
And
like you said before we started filming, you're prepared for it. You came into this ready for it to be chaotic and hectic, and you're looking after yourself, obviously, with the tea and
this
nice
is
things and
post 4 cocktails as well. But hell, it's Big Sound.
Did you get the espresso martini?
I did, yeah.
Yay!
Yes. Yeah, as you know, Fraser and Matt in my band, and I was at this party, and I texted them a photo of an espresso martini, and they quickly came back to the party. So.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, boys, I got the espresso.
This is what I have right now. That is so, so good. I mean, gratitude is such a beautiful thing to experience, and it really does dissipate any feeling that you might have of being I'm stressed or I'm worried or anything like that. So I feel that is a really beautiful through line, and obviously that carries through really nicely with all the music that you make and everything that you do, because it is you're a human ball of sunshine. You're a little flower.
I love sunshine. I love flowers.
Me too.
Is it obvious?
I love your music so much. How are you finding that flow with it as you're coming? Because obviously Big Sound, you get a little bit tired and everything, and things start getting a little bit, but you've just got so much, I think, that overwhelming sense of gratitude. Are you really finding that your music's continually pulling you back into that feeling?
Yeah, but it's my music is the same as my personal practice. I'm working on being the best version of myself. And gratitude is the key. It's so and I suppose I've built up this gratitude thing, and I try to actively always say, I'm so grateful for this. And even vocally say it out loud, because it just reminds you of all the amazing things happening. Now it can be so easy with social media is the best and worst thing at the same time.
Totally.
And it can, I know maybe it's a bit it's a bit low vibration of me, but sometimes I get jealous and stuff, and and be oh man, I wish I got that. But I'm putting myself in a low vibration and and a low energy. Whereas I could be okay, maybe I'm a bit bummed, but hell, I can work harder. What can I control in that situation? I can hustle harder, or I'm going to refine my pitching strategy, or what are they doing? I could study that and
find
upgrade
out
what
you want out of that.
And I'm always working on being better at finding an empowering approach. Yeah. That's because hell, where for me, music and life is kind of the same thing. And my biggest strategy of late has been to just have fun. Have more fun.
And you can see that.
I'm so glad that translates.
That really translates to everything that you're doing. I feel that. Yeah, well, that makes it more relatable, because I think we're all, particularly in the thickness of the world at the moment, joy is such an incredible and powerful stance of almost activism against a world that sometimes tells you not to be like that. So you've got this really beautiful thing happening with your creative space, and then that linking into your real life, where you're just having this self-fulfilling bundle of joy that's just keeping on going and going and going. You're also coming off the back of playing the Gold Coast Music Awards. It's not you just came into Big Sound and you were I haven't been playing any shows. Something ridiculous. How many shows have you played?
The boys are paying me
11 or something like that.
Yeah, it was they're yeah, cool, we're playing Big Sound and you booked 7 shows in 8 days. And I was like, yeah.
Love you guys.
But it's like, again, it's the best thing. Like, actually, we were all pretty nervous about the Gold Coast Music Awards, and like also so grateful.
Yeah.
Like, got to play the hotter big stage theater. Like, never played that stage before. It was incredible, to like all of the Gold Coast industry plus more. And I got to share like We've Got the Power, a song I'm really, really passionate about. And if anything, it was kind of good because we were all so, like, you get one song at the GCMA. So it's like, you know, you've done so many gigs, like, you know, we make mistakes in shows and it happens, but like it feels like so much pressure with one song.
Like, this better be amazing.
Yeah, and don't fuck it up.
Yeah. Everyone be perfect.
So yeah, it was kind of, in a way, I feel like it was such a blessing. We had that and then rolled through all these different gigs. You know, we made some mistakes, but we also had heaps of fun, and it took all the pressure off Big Sound.
Yeah.
So in a way, I'm like so grateful for that. Also, we got to play the Gold Coast show on the Sunday, and I used that. We had like a 40-minute set, including setup time. And I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to do a dress rehearsal of our Big Sound set.
Totally.
Because like my way of dealing with anxiety is I plan. Yeah. And
it's a good way to deal with it.
I'm quite grateful for that strategy, to be honest. And I have like detailed notes of how our set goes and when I'm going to speak. And I'd already pre-planned everything of how I introduce things. And I'm really lucky. Like Matt is my husband. He's the guitarist in the band. And I even like kind of run what I'm going to say. And he gives me a bit of feedback on how to refine it. Yeah. And I suppose because I want it to be a great experience for the audience as well, and succinctly get to the message and then play the music.
Of what you mean.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we got to do how awesome is that? We got to do a dress rehearsal for Big Sound.
Of what you're going to do.
Just
so then you're going into it being like, this is fine. Yeah, like, I've done this before and I back myself.
Yeah. And like the preparation takes all the pressure off the moment. So I feel, again, very, very grateful. It kind of is like a stars aligning moment.
Oh, that's so lovely. I really want to talk about your new single, Animal Instinct. It's so good. I will talk about the music video in a second, but I want to talk about the song first because it's so bloody catchy, and I'm so like hooked into it from the first, because you're giving all these little teasers on like TikTok and stuff, and I was just like, ooh, this is really cool. Like, what's going on here? Tell me about like writing that song and what that experience was like.
Yeah, so funnily enough, it originated from me. I've studied, like, I've done my yoga teacher training, and I've done some like a fair few meditation courses, and I do my best to meditate regularly. I've been quite inconsistent with my practice lately, and it's actually like I took out time today to meditate because Big Sound is so big, there's so much energy, and it was kind of nice to have that downtime. But through that, I became a big fan of Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. Like, are you familiar with him?
Not really. No.
He's quite big in the meditation world.
Yeah.
And so he finally came out to Australia after COVID, and I went to his retreat. I'd been wanting to go for years and years and years. And I was like, yes, I finally get to go. And we literally spent the whole week, like, we probably meditated like more than 5 hours every day, learned all the science behind meditation, like quantum physics, and we would do healings on each other. And it was really cool. But then again, I love how like life is constantly presenting us with like perfect paradoxes, because like it was really cool. But there's also on the flip side, there can be a bit of like, you know, woke wankiness.
Yeah.
Like, and
totally.
it's like,
you want to have one foot in that and one foot in like reality as well. Yeah.
Because like, I did see like, and I think like also it's not like also meant with malice or at all, but like people are still like it's ego expressing itself in this different way. And how like, I'm sure I probably been like guilty of it as well in the past, but like, because you're trying to be your best version of yourself and unravel these like past learnings and iterate. It's
we're
a
all
complex
learning
thing.
And we're all on a journey, and where we're at is where we're at, and no one should be shamed if they're in a different place than somebody else just because they're not on the same pathway. Yeah.
So anyways, like that was like, I loved the retreat and it was amazing, but I actually I found myself, I've been like doing my best to kind of follow my heart and what my heart wants to do, and I felt myself just distancing from that crowd, and I was like it's okay, like it's nothing which it was just what I wanted. And I kind of was like also thinking about how important it is to follow our desires and what we innately want, and like that instinct like I'm sure you know you just follow that instinct and it just works out.
And it works out.
And
you're in flow.
Yeah, and I think it's like kind of a karmic thing as well.
Yeah.
Like we have our desires and our preferences for a reason, and I think it's like almost karmic that we follow that and scratch that itch sometimes. And again, like all contextual, all dependent, but yeah, that's kind of how animal instinct came along. And like post this, I was like just kind of thinking about desires and how like we often like we can either like we need to satiate them or we can become victim to them and all these different things. And yeah, I wrote the song, and funnily enough, I briefly studied music at uni, and I took it to my songwriting tutor, and he just didn't really vibe it, and I was kind of a bit bummed about it. I was like, I think this is a fucking awesome song, and I showed Matt, and he's like, this is an awesome song.
Yeah.
And we just like punched it up a little bit, and we're super lucky and got to work with Constantine on it, who is the loveliest human, uber talented as well.
So cool.
Yeah, it was very, very fun. So very, very grateful. And yeah, now it's out there. So
good. And like, I feel like we would be remiss now to not touch on like the incredible music video that accompanies.
Yeah. It's so stupid.
It's so good. It's so silly.
It's so
and
dumb.
like it's like leaning into the silliness. The killer koala part aspect is so good. Like Fraser playing drums with bananas, being like kind of like the Cadbury.
Yeah, we the Phil Collins
yeah. yeah. It's so good. Did you guys come up with that concept yourself, or was that a sort of I don't know, like it's just so interesting. It's such an interesting concept.
So initially I had this really expensive bougie iteration of what I wanted the film clip to be, and I was like, I don't really have $10,000 I could drop to make that happen.
No.
Right? Or like it's not the best spent like use of my money. And then we'd also like Matt and I got married like earlier in the year, and we went on a honeymoon to America, and I think like that's kind of how like the drop bear thing kind of came into my consciousness a bit more. And I was like, well, it's animal instinct. Like, why don't we just like play on just like animals doing dumb stuff and like. Yeah, I wanted to play and like, the drop bear, murdering Matt, and like, and just like, and I was
You're like after the honeymoon, I just really wanted to dress up as a koala and pretend to kill him just to get any issues out.
And it was actually like, we had so much fun filming it.
It looked
we
fun.
Had the best time, and we filmed it over 2 days, and the first day we went to this like lookout at Byron, and it was so funny. We're like dressed up as animals doing all this silly stuff, and people would drive into this lookout and either be like, yeah, or like, what the hell is happening?
There's a lady dressed up as a koala in a tree going,
and there's a monkey man running around with a banana. Like it was so dumb.
I love that.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
And I love it. Like the best thing, I've been so happy and so proud of it because it's made people have a laugh and just have like a good time. And I'm like, actually, like, and that's what I love. Like, I love Lime Cordial and their tongue-in-cheek humor. Like, and just like, and as how cool is it as musicians? Like,
we get to be silly,
and we can make people feel good and like bring joy. Because I reflect on like, I don't know if you do this stuff, and like what I love the most about music, and I'm like, oh, like I love how Dolly Parton songs make me feel amazing, and like how like it just like can make me go from having a shitty day to a really good day.
And
that's
so much
like
capacity.
The magic of music.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, and it's so cool. So it was. Yeah, I feel very stoked we got to put that out.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Hey, before I let you go and do all your big sound things, I've got 3 quick fire big sound questions for you. My first one, if you had to describe your big sound in one word, what would it be?
Like big. But then can I succinctly say like it's like being in a small country town and walking down the main street. That's what big sound is like.
Yeah, I agree with that. And like all your friends are out and everyone's having a good time and is excited and is really friendly. It's so nice.
It's the ultimate catch-up.
I know. Hey, if Sunny Lou was a drink, what drink do you think it would be?
Margarita.
Yeah, I so see that.
Yeah, that's my
go-to
drink.
I was like, you're either going to say margarita or espresso martini just because of the tradition of espresso martini.
Yeah, potentially as well. We have a beautiful friends who have a gin company, like Wildflower Gin, and they make this beautiful like raspberry bloom cocktail.
Oh my gosh.
It's like to die for. Like I could definitely be a raspberry bloom.
Okay, I can see that for you as well. And is there anyone that you're especially excited to see this week?
So caught AKA Luwe with you last night. That was amazing.
So good. That was my favorite thing that I saw last night. I was like, this is buttery goodness.
Yeah. Like just
so smooth.
And so like my ears were constantly tantalized. It's like, keep going, please. And then gosh, Matt caught Pep Talk last night, and he's like,
I've heard very good
Pep
things.
Talk. Like, so good. So good. Also shout out to like Crystal West. She's like singing in language as well, and it's like her voice.
Wow.
Insane. Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh,
yeah.
Beautiful. Well, have a beautiful rest of your Big Sound. Yay. We can catch you either tonight at 8 p.m. Tomorrow, I just had a moment where I was like, what have I got in my notes? Tonight at 8 p.m. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. And you're also talking at 11:45 tomorrow.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah.
So many things.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm like going to be constantly like double checking my schedule.
Where am I meant to be?
I don't remember where I need to be at what time.
It's going to be so good. Have a beautiful Big Sound. And thank you so much for talking to me with our tiny little lights. Thank you. Bye.
You're the best.